I played 100% of Letters to Arralla, a game where you play as a, weirdly, big-bootied turnip who has to deliver mail to the residents of the island. But this isn't your typical mail delivery game, as it's your job to snoop through everybody's letters to see what they're up to and insert yourself in all of the drama, whether it be lovers at quarrel, a treasure hunt that needs to happen, or maybe even partaking in a cult. Who knows? Well, I do, because I 100%ed the game. In this video, you're gonna see my full gameplay, and maybe even more, of Letters to Arralla, where I attempt to get every single Steam achievement, which in this case, there are 21. It's worth noting that this game was very kindly sent to me to play for free by the developers ahead of its release, but this video is in no way, shape, or form sponsored, but I do thank the development team for sending me this big-bootied turnip adventure to play. I also want to let you know that I am playing this on Steam, and I'm using a controller throughout this gameplay, but sometimes I did switch to a mouse when I needed a little bit extra help. Other than that, I think that's all you have to know before we get into the 100%ing. Just kidding, this is the part where I plug my channel. If you're remotely interested in cozy and casual games and you like 100%ing videos like this, consider subscribing and be sure to like the video. Okay, I'll shut up and let's get into the 100%ing. Letters to Arralla actually begins with a land acknowledgement, as the game is set in Australia, which I think is lovely to see. So after taking a read through that, it's time to start the game. Well, almost. First, I always like to check on the options whenever I'm playing any new game. Not a lot of gameplay options here, but a lot of accessibility options, whether that be for text or for visual, which I think is very good to see as well. But then it's time to jump my little turnip booty into the boat, and I find out that I am the new temporary postal worker because the regular guy is on his holiday break. So here I am in my turnip glory, and here is my booty. You'll be seeing quite a bit of it. So then I speak to my boss. This is my boss. Their name is Maureen. And Maureen is pretty much like, okay, you're going to stay at the motel. Here's the key. The real game starts tomorrow, pretty much is what I'm told. Like, here's your key. Go and do things. Immediately, I decided that I needed to adjust my settings. I needed to adjust the camera speed. You might not need to do this, but I have a thing where my hands are really shaky, and sometimes I shake the camera too hard when I control it, and then I can be a little dizzying. So I decided to make it a little slower, which was a lot better, and here I am, fooling around with everything. There's lots of random fart noises throughout this game, sometimes in the bathroom, sometimes walking, which was interesting. And then it was time for bed. So interestingly, this game does have different days, but there's no time. Time is not real, so you can spend as much time as you want on each day, and immediately I'm greeted by a stalker. Like, what? Hello, sir? He's just looking at me. Maybe he's looking at my booty. And I find out this is Tanner. I don't know what he does on this island. I never figure it out. I think he's just here to hang out. And then I talked to Maureen and I learned the basic mechanic of the game. I get different letters and packages each day, each of which have some kind of symbol or hint as to who they belong to. And I'm also heavily encouraged to open people's mail to figure out even more. So of course, like a little rascal, I do indeed open everybody's mail. From both the symbol on the outside and the content of the letter, it was clear this was going to some kind of glass-blowing studio. I really like that this game you don't have to look at the handwriting if you don't want to. You can just click on it and you'll get the typed out version. Then I had this very interesting wax seal letter, and I realized that some of the letters have like a little mini game for you to do because you need to open them a certain way. This one was scary. This is about a dark covenant coming. We'll get back to that. And then this pink one was for some kind of store called Adorable Adornments. It was like an employee kind of like handbook and some instructions for employees, so I knew this had to go to some kind of store. This one seemed to be for a house, and for a house with children, because this was a little birthday card from Granny and Papa. I couldn't quite make out what these symbols were, but I like how they taped this one shut, because that's such a Payton way of taping a letter shut, so I don't have to lick it. I'm not a fan of licking letters. And that one was a cute little postcard. This one had a fish on the top of it, and I didn't really understand how that would come into play. And I got glitter bombed, so yikes. Oops. And then this one had a clover on it, which is the hotel. The motel is like a lucky clover. and I somehow didn't even realize. But look how cute this is. This is a birthday card too, and you actually have to shake it. And when you shake it, then you'll be able to open it, so you can see the little... don't mind me figuring it out. You can open the little tab on the side, and we could see that there is a birthday card. Super cute, loving the dinosaurs. And even these kind of cards too, you can open them to kind of get a more in-depth thing. Then I'm talking to Eron, who is the mayor. His name is Eron Bluff. That's his name. And then I talked to this person who is missing their chess pieces. And let me tell you something. I thought this would be an easy task. It was like, hey, can you find my missing chess pieces? Yeah, this one takes a while. Then I speak to Maureen about the previous postal worker, and they say Pat was a little bit of a weirdo because he liked to open people's mail. Can't be me. Then I realized there are telephone booths. I can call my mom and check in on my mom, which is so very sweet. And there's also fast traveling, which is definitely something you'll want to use in the game, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Around the island, there are different little menus, posters, murals rather, that give you information about the island. That's pretty cute. I found my first chess piece, and I realized I couldn't, store it in my inventory. I had to go and bring it straight back to the person. So luckily, they were very close, and I was able to give them one. And I thought because that one was so easy to find, that all of them surely would be easy to find. And they weren't. But then I found that there was a bucket, and I could make a sandcastle. So I pushed my luck, and I got my first achievement, which was making the biggest sandcastle that I could make. And I didn't even, at this point, I made the great mistake of not looking at the achievements before I started the game. So I just stumbled into that one, and that was fun. Talking to some different NPCs around town, and then I found my way here. This is kind of like a spa, a beautiful hot spring spa, and there I meet Keely, who is the worker at the spa. I chit-chat with Keely, and Keely tells me every day of the week they do different services here at the spa. It'll all look the same to you, but there's lore in the game. I quickly found a little cave, and I found this dude who's just straight up vibing, just hanging out. He's like, don't worry about me. I'm just having a good time. And I said, okay, not gonna worry about you. Found the other telephone post, and I saw that, yes, I can fast travel, but again, I'm not doing that yet because I want to walk around and explore everything. And I noticed that there's a glowing rock I can't get through, but I have a feeling I might get through there later. Then after messing around and sitting and interacting with a bunch of objects, I found one of the people I thought that I owed mail to. This was adorable adornments. The little jewelry piece was also in the front of the building, so I delivered it to this person, Sunny. And Sunny hates the job. Sunny is upset that they work for a retail franchise, and they're a jewelry designer and they really want to open their own jewelry store, but they moved to the island away from their partner so that they could have this really good job. And that's important to note for later. Then I found this door that matched these symbols, the two red, vertical and then the little center, and I delivered them their mail. And then I bounced on a trampoline. Look at that booty jiggle. And then I found a lighthouse, and there was no one in here, but I discovered that you can free fall. And you won't take any damage because you're a turnip. And turnips can't get hurt, I think, maybe. I'm exploring more of the island, and I found a rare mineral. And this kicks off what I would say is one of the hardest quests in the game, which is to find all 9 of the legendary items around the island. You don't have to do this to finish the story, but you certainly have to do it if you want to get all of the achievements. And then I found the glass blowing studio. It was very clear from the outside that this was that. And I realized right away that the store is cut in half. So I go around to the other end and I meet this lovely strawberry whose name is Nick, and he tells me that him and his partner have been fighting and that they've literally cut their store in half. And I'm like, oh boy, I have a feeling I'm going to be mixed into this drama. But not yet. Then I'm looking for this one that matches the different windows and the grate, and it took me a while to find it. Honestly, most of the playthrough, me running around aimlessly. But I didn't want this to be a 9-hour video, so we've cut out a lot of the aimless wandering here. Here are some more glowy rocks that I can't access. And here I found a pulley system, and at the top I see the circular window that matches the scary letter that I got. So we're sending the letter up, and you can actually watch it go up the pulley system, which is kind of crazy. I kind of feel like maybe we should go up there. Then, oh my god, I'm so rude. I never even talked to the motel worker. This is Neve, who is lovely and sweet, and I love their glasses. So I talked to Neve for the first time, and Neve told me to look for someone who's crazy and thinks that there is like a mysterious creature on the island, and that they're probably hiding somewhere by the motel. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that later. In the meantime, I accidentally destroy all of the chess pieces by running through them, but don't worry, you can reset them. Then I'm looking for my friend who is going on about some mysterious creature. So here's Mr. Peabody, and he's like, listen. There is this creature, it's called the Prickler. They're prickly, and I'm gonna give you a camera so you could take a picture of it. Immediately, though, I'm taking the opportunity to stare at the butts, because I'm perplexed by the butts in the game. I don't know why we have butts. Also, this was a glitch. There's a child stuck in a rock. I hope they get out of there. That doesn't seem like a good place for a little grape, but whatever. I'm continuing to explore, and I saw this really cool shell on this little, like, peaceful secret pond type area here. So cute. So I found my second of the rare items. Then I finally found the house with the fish. It has a fish mailbox. I ran by this, like, again, most of the playthrough is me running around aimlessly, and actually, most of the playthrough is me walking around aimlessly because I don't realize I could run until the final day. So that's me. If you're playing on controller, just like press in on the stick and then you could run. In case you're wondering, here I am using the fast travel for the first time, and this is very convenient. The world is like a nice size, and it's definitely easy to get lost, so I definitely recommend using the fast travel to get around. I used it to kind of find out where each thing was, and then I could actually place the different rare items around my motel room, so I decided to show off and flex, you know, here are my special little shells. It's also worth mentioning that I have a map too, and I definitely rely on the map a lot. We're going into our next day in the game now, Tuesday, and once again, my stalker's waiting for me. I don't know what you want from me, sir, but it's okay. I got my letters for the day, and immediately I took a look. I loved how this one was folded. It reminds me of that little game you used to make in school that would, like, tell you your future or, like, how many children you were gonna have. And this one had the glass blower symbol on it, and also a picture of the strawberry. And this one is pretty much, like, another person reminiscing about how the three of them all used to be friends, and they used to make this, like, very specific type of glass that they can't make anymore. Then I had an order ticket for the glass blowing place too, so they also have two different kinds of mail. This one was fun to open. You could see on the post-it note like a drawing of who it's supposed to be to, and it's supposed to be for the scientist. Now, this whole arc is so funny to me. So Mr. Braun and Heinrich are always going back and forth talking about if this is the perfect island, because they wanted to take their honeymoon somewhere that also had the chance of an earthquake happening, and they're like, I don't know if an earthquake's gonna happen here. Moving on to this letter that I pulled open like it was a Labubu blind box, there's cash. Dude, Iran is trying to give cash to Mrs. Lebinsky for trying to open up an art store. And so I decided, well, what if we go talk to my friend Sunny about, like, opening up a jewelry store instead? This next one was a DVD sleeve, and I didn't recognize the outside symbol that was on it, but there was a note on the inside that was talking about some crazy banana bonkers vampire show, so, I mean, I want to watch that. This next one was so sweet. It was two people who are deaf that were pen pals to each other, and they even sent a little picture of themselves. I didn't recognize the symbol on this card either, so I was definitely a little bit more lost going into this day, even though I thought I had seen everything on the first day. I hadn't. Then I had this one that had a compass on the front and lots of stickers on the back. Here I am stealing their stickers, man. You don't get to keep those. I'm gonna keep them. And this is going to the editors of the Bloomin' Onion, which is the best magazine name ever, or newspaper magazine, rather. And then I went to talk to Iran, and I realized that I could actually take a quiz from him with different information I learned from the island from the post-it, like, murals that I saw. I tried taking it without having paid any attention to the murals, and I failed. So I'll have to come back once I pay a little bit more attention. I realized the town hall was the owner of the compass, so the newspaper must be written here as well. Delivered that, and then I found the scientist. So this whole thing is him and his husband are arguing about this island. This guy really wants there to be an earthquake. He's waiting for an earthquake. And the other guy is like, dude, like I don't know what to tell you. So they're just writing like rebuttals back and forth to each other. And it's so funny. When I first started playing, I didn't realize that they were a couple. I thought that they were just like colleagues, like fighting over this earthquake, but they're actually just like, is this the right honeymoon spot? I really want to see an earthquake, which is kind of silly and funny. So then I went to go talk to Sunny about Iran wanting to give Miss Lebinsky money, and Sunny actually gives me a torch that they found and is like, hey, maybe you can talk to Miss Lebinsky and Iran, maybe you can sell jewelry in the store that she's going to open up. So I gave this to Miss Lebinsky. This was my first time meeting her. It was clear it was her because there's a sunflower on the outside of her mailbox, and also she's a piece of lettuce, and that looked like a piece of lettuce to me. So I'm talking to her, and she's like, ugh, girl, I don't even want to open an art store. TBH, I hate customer service. I'm good. How about, to make everybody happy, you go convince the mayor to let the store be Sunny's jewelry store, and then we could just sell some of my art there. So we're gonna go do that later, but first, we're back to the fighting glass blowers. I meet the other person, this is Arnav, and we give them their letter about their old friend. I learn more that they are having, problems with each other, that they've divided the store, and I learned that there's this whole mechanic of whenever I get a ticket, the ticket is a delivery. So they gave me this ticket with this item in it to go deliver to the lighthouse. Then I go back to Maureen because I'm a little stuck, and it turns out that if you're stuck, you can actually ask her to tell you where something is going to go. So like for the package, I didn't recognize the lighthouse symbol on the outside for some reason, even though I had been to it, and then she was like, hey, that's the lighthouse. And for this one, I didn't recognize the symbol on the back, and she told me it's for the house with the stained glass. And so then I went back to delivering. Here we are talking to one of the two Cherry brothers who are just, well, they're something, let me tell you. And they actually run the lighthouse. This is so funny. His name is Bill Posters, and he's like, I'm a criminal because there was a sign that said Bill Posters will be prosecuted, so we ran away from home and now we just like vibe out. And I'm like, dude, that's not what that means, but alright, whatever, babe. Then I go ahead to the glass house. I completely missed this one. It has this beautiful stained glass window, and I just absolutely ignored it. And then I found this symbol too. I was unfamiliar with what this object was, so I needed a little bit of help with this one too, but eventually I found my way there. And that was all of my deliveries for the day. The only thing I still had left is to talk to the mayor about the shop. But first, I'm still exploring the island. There's still so much that I haven't seen, like this porta potty in case I need to poop. I mean, we got my booty swinging around, I gotta make sure that I take care of business, So then I go talk to the mayor, and Miss Lebinsky and Sunny both told me how to make it sound more enticing to him. I had to tell them, the real estate is prime and things like that. But I did get this one wrong. I was supposed to tell him that Sunny might take their trade skills elsewhere, but I forgot about what I had to say here, so I picked the other option. And since that turned out to be wrong, Iran was not interested in opening up the shop, so I was gonna have to go back to talk to everybody to try again. I anticipated doing this the next day, but this was actually a quest I needed to do this day. There are some quests you can kind of skip around in this game, but there are certain ones you have to do, and this is one of them. So I went back to Sunny to realize what I missed, and yeah, it was just that I needed to click the other option of talking about Sunny's trade skills. So that was good enough to convince them. Then I had to go back to Sunny and be like, he said, yes, cool, we can open up the store, jewelry and art. And Sunny's like, cool, I need to make some jewelry. I need you to give me some shells, flowers, rare items. Here's this collection book you can use to find items. So pretty much the two of the 9 rare items I already found, I need to find one more to give to Sunny. So I'm looking for anything that kind of sticks out. And let me tell you, they are difficult to find. But for now, it's the end of Tuesday, and we're getting into Wednesday. Another day delivering mail, but this day there's some weird satellite in the middle of town that's on fire. And there's this cauliflower man here who I've never seen, and his name is Doc. And so he is this scientist, mechanic, robot man. He makes robots and makes machines. I got today's mail, and I decided I couldn't not look at this one first. This is the essence of the game in a nutshell. I pulled this letter out of a mushroom's ass, frankly. The subject of the letter was talking us some costume ideas for School Spirit Day. I didn't recognize the symbol on the mushroom, and I did not recognize the symbol on this one. I just saw the one basketball, and I was like, okay, maybe I know where this is. This next one, I had, Jesus, like, tons of things to pull out. And it turns out that there is a party coming up, and there's a paintball place. How cute. This one I recognized immediately. This was the sunflower that was outside of Miss Lebinsky's house. I felt so bad destroying this macaroni art, and it was from their grandchild. They made this little, like, macaroni jewelry. Like, I destroyed it. The next letter had a bunny on it and a cute little sticker. It was from some subscription service that gives you stickers. And then I had another ticket for the glassblower and one for the scary house that's covered in blood. This one, another wax seal, which I love a wax seal. And this one is just more, like, mysterious cult-like activity. They're like, ooh, we're going to have our mysterious affair coming up soon. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, good, sure, we'll find out about that later. And we can see someone in the distance pulling up the letter, but we can't quite make them out yet. But maybe we will later. Then I go to Miss Lebinsky to give her the, destroyed macaroni art. I'm so sorry. I should have just left it alone, but I didn't. It's fine. Then it took me a while to find out that there was a little rabbit on this one's mailbox, so I found the place for the rabbit, and then I kept going along my deliveries. I thought that the letter with the random shapes, I thought could maybe be referencing the rock wall, and also there was a basketball on the back of it, so I was like, oh, it's this one for sure. And this is the first time I get it wrong. Luckily, the stakes aren't that deep here, and if you deliver the wrong letter, it just tells you this is maybe not the right place. Then I decided to give Sunny the two, like, rare pieces I found so far, so I'd have to give them just one more for this request, but luckily this one wasn't one I had to get done by the end of the day. It actually gives you, like, due dates for some of the different quests. Then I realized with the football and the frisbee and the green dot, this was the house this letter was supposed to go to, and now I knew because I think I ran past this one a bunch. Then I went to deliver my glassblower ticket, and instead Nick is outside having a fit, and so is Arnav. They're just not even looking at each other, and I'm trying to convince them, like, hey guys, like, you know, it's okay. The whole fight is pretty much like, well, I do all this work, and you don't appreciate it. And so I actually go inside the shop, and I learn that there are some items for me to discover. Specifically, I find Nick's diary, and I'm able to read it, and it turns out he's really sorry, and he wants to just be friends again. And, like, he was reminiscing about, like, his wedding and, like, how his buddy was the best man. And then I find all of these boxes that are empty over on Nick's side, and I find that there's a teapot, and there's, like, extra cups. So, like, Arnav has been making extra cups for Nick, and there's all of these supplies. But the boxes are on Nick's side, so Nick has been supplying the things for Arnav, even though they're in a fight. Like, they're still supporting each other. And in this one's diary, they also apologized. So both Arnav and Nick already apologized to each other through their diaries. So once I found all of the items, I was able to have more dialogue options to be able to solve their fight. It took me a couple times to do this because I didn't have all of the items at once, but eventually I did solve their fight. Look at me, good job. And I went in and I delivered the ticket, and they gave me this interesting package of glasses to deliver. At this point in the game, I learned that I can use the phone booth to call Maureen for clues about items. I didn't know where the mushroom booty was gonna go, but then they said, like, something about chime, and I realized that there was music on the back, and so that was for the house with the wind chimes. They have their weird, plushy mushroom booty. In case you're wondering, no, I still haven't found any more chess pieces, but don't worry about it, maybe later. Then I went into the pub for the first time to meet Bess the tomato, and I delivered these glasses. And these glasses are because Bess is gonna add some mocktails to the menu, and we'll have to come back later for them. Then as I was exploring, I found this sandcastle with a shell on top of it, and I realized that this would be the third of the 9 legendary items, and I could give this one to Sunny to fulfill my request of giving them 3 different items, so now that they can actually start making their jewelry. It's worth noting too that like Sunny let me keep these items. I don't know how the logic of that is, but I got to keep them. So there they are looking nice in my place. And then I called it a day, and we're already on to Thursday. Another day of delivering mail as the best little turnip in town. I wanted to give the quiz another shot. I didn't show you. I took this quiz 5 times before I got everything right. I took the quiz 5 times before I got everything right. I don't know that I paid attention to the signs, or if I just kept guessing and then remembered my guesses to the answers, and then was like, okay, that one was correct, that one wasn't, so it might just be that. Yeah, I would recommend reading the signs, though. They took the time to put the signs in the game. So read them! So anyway, I won the quiz, and I got my first of several hats. So you always wear the yellow post hat, or they call it the posty hat, rather. But now I have a special little crown on as well. Then I went to go see Maureen, and Maureen told me that my lovely friends at the Glass Blowers gave me this glass whistle that I could use to blow down rocks, which seems like it will be very convenient. This first letter of the day had a trampoline on the front, which I did know where it was going to be, and this one is a series of a couple moms, like, talking back and forth. This one specifically is, like, talking about how their kids, like, always run away, and their friend is like, oh my god, no, like, you need time, girl. This next one had, like, 2 different beach houses that I didn't recognize yet, but this one was 2 bros talking to each other, and they mentioned the lighthouse. They're like, we need to find someone to help us manage the lighthouse, so that made me realize, it's for the lighthouse. Then, this package is for the scary house, because it has the window. But the actual thing they ordered doesn't look so scary. It's some merch. It's like a cool... I don't think that's celery. Is it a green onion guy? I don't know. Then I had this warning one, and this is for my 2 lovers at quarrel, again, going back and forth about the earthquakes. Then this symbol I did not recognize, but it is indeed a satellite, and it became a little bit more clear that this was for Doc. Once I opened it, I was like, oh yes, okay, that's the satellite, cool. This one I struggled with. This is the fish house. There is a tiny little red fish. I don't know why I didn't compute it, but it was. This one is about having to make lactose-free food every day for the kids, and like asking for recipes, which I laughed at because I've been dairy-free recently in my real life, and I'm like, oh, I get the struggle, girl. This next one, I had no idea where it was for, but it was for a USB file of controls for a model plane with instructions. No clue who that's going to, but first I'm trying to deliver the package to the scary house, and I realize, well, there's no way to deliver the package to the scary house, so maybe I can use this brand new whistle I got to clear the way for the rocks, and maybe I can investigate there myself. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Now this unlocks a twisty, turny, and confusing path that I spend many in real life hours exploring and getting lost in, like a long time, an embarrassing amount of time, until I found a little bridge of a fallen tree, and I saw the last fast travel spot, and I said, that's a good indicator that this is where I'm supposed to go. So I unlocked that fast travel, and now I have all of the fast travel points unlocked. Thankfully, that's a big help. And here we are, busting into the scary house. Immediately, there is something covered in tarp in the pool that looks like a spaceship. So that's cool. No, that's cool, though. Right. So then I knock on the door. My character's terrified. I've never seen a more terrified turnip man. And suddenly, we're confronted with a carrot. A carrot person. And the way they talk we haven't acknowledged the way that they talk yet in the commentary, but the way that they talk, it just sends me every time. So this is Carla the Carrot, and Carla the Carrot's like, oh my god, that's my favorite show with my merch. And I'm like, dude, what's up with all of the scary things? And Carla's like, I'm really, like, shy and misunderstood. I had to leave my home that's far away from unknown reasons. But my friends and I like to role play. I don't want to just say Carla has one friend. Friends, we like to role play, and we're doing a ritual on Saturday. Please come. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm coming to your cult ritual. Then I found another chess piece, thankfully, and I discovered another one of the legendary items. So this is a flower that was along the rocks up there. Then I grabbed the chess piece to fast travel back to give it to my friend. Maybe one day they'll be able to play chess. It's not going well so far. I found 2 pieces, man. But here you are. I learned that if I talk to them again, they actually tell me where the things are. They're like, okay, there's one near the waterfall, there's one near the boardwalk on the beach. I gave one to Doc to hide, so maybe check there. There's one on the path to the mountains near a rocky landmark, and one near a scary house. So I found the one under the boardwalk and the one by the scary house, and that gave me a little bit clearer of a way to decide where I might find the rest of them. Then by the waterfall, I decided to knock down these rocks because they had been taunting me the whole time so far, and I was like, well, what's under the waterfall? Something has to be under the waterfall, and you guessed it. Did you guess that there would be a chess piece here? Because if you did, you win. You win. Okay, so now I'm just looking for 2 more. Then I went to go talk to Mr. Peabody to give him his latest rebuttal with his husband about these gosh darn earthquakes. And he's like, dude, we need to, like, end this. I just want to, like, have a happy, nice time and relax, but he will not be happy until there's an earthquake. And I'm like, wait, what if we can make an earthquake? So now I have to go talk to Doc about making a fake earthquake on the island so that his husband's happy. Then I don't know how I found this chess piece. I found this one behind the rocky part, and I feel like I probably could have missed it. I feel like I got so lucky finding that. And then I went on my way to deliver more mail. This is the house with the trampoline. I'm introduced to this NPC for the first time, Coralie, and she was the one who, like, her kids keep running away that I found out about through the letters. They're like, oh my god, my cousin, I'm complaining to her, she makes me laugh. My children are little freaking rascals. Then I went to the lighthouse, and the actual object I delivered to them is being used. And now, I'm impaled by a cherry with a booty. I'm impaled by a cherry with a booty. And then I have this whole new area of the map that's open for the first time, and this is where Doc lives. And so I'm talking to Doc, and I'm like, listen, here's your mail, but I gotta talk, okay? We gotta talk. We need to make some kind of fake earthquake, okay? Because I need these 2 lovers to enjoy their honeymoon, okay? And then I have this whole other part of the map that I haven't been to yet that just has, like, waste, radioactive stuff all over here, and I realize that there are rocks that need to be destroyed here as well. And I'm astounded at this point at how much more of the island I still have not seen. But it makes sense, because I have to find more legendary items and chess pieces. Then I found this cave, and I was like, okay, well, what's gonna happen here? I have my little flashlight equipped, and suddenly I see this green goo, and there's something in the goo. And I'm like, is it about to be Jurassic Park? Am I about to unleash the dinosaurs onto turnip juicy booty land? I don't really know. And suddenly, I met with this person. I forgot about this quest. It had been so long that I'm looking for, like, a mythological prickly creature. I noticed in the corner that I could also, like, hit more rocks. So I did that, and I found one of the other legendary items. Okay, I'm kind of killing it with those right now. I feel like that one, maybe not everyone would have spotted, but I did. And then I went and talked to the creature, and their name is Hom, and they're like, oh my god, I'm free. I was just sleeping, and I got stuck in there. And I'm talking to them, and I'm like, dude, there's a person who's, like, looking for you, and can I take your picture? Like, you're a legend. And they're like, yeah, you can take my picture for sure. So I take their picture, and then they talk about how they're going to try to go home and get reunited with their family, which is, like, very wholesome and sweet. I was very thankful they let me take the picture. And now that I have unlocked all of these rocks, I have even more. There's a whole other path. And this is kind of nice because it brings me back to the beginning of the island. So now there's a kind of like back way to go that's a little bit, I don't know if it's more convenient, but I enjoyed walking through all of the different ways to get places a lot of the time. Then I was confused with some more mail. Once again, the stained glass house for some reason always perplexes me, so I went to check with Maureen. And then I'm walking through this path again because I figure now that this whole area is unlocked, there's got to be a legendary item here, and there was. I got a shiny sea snail shell, so that's pretty cool. I found Mr. Peabody and I'm like, dude, I got your picture. And he's like, oh my god, let's see it. And then they actually agree to meet with Hom so that they can like meet them themselves, and they're gonna do it later tonight. So we helped out with that and we completed that task. Then I'm going on to deliver my mail still. And then I got this achievement because I actually read all of the signs around town for the first time. I'm realizing I'm not always shouting out when I've been hitting the achievements, but you've been seeing them, so I'll do a better job now for announcing when they actually happen. But then I found the other cherry bro on the beach, and I delivered him his mail, and he's like, dude, I haven't seen my bro in so long because one of us always needs to operate the lighthouse. And I'm like, well, what about during the day? Why don't you see each other during the day? He's like, well, one of us always has to be there. We provide the light. And I'm like, well, what about the sun? The sun provides the light so the boats can see. And he's like, no, man, it's because we're doing the lighthouse. And I'm like, oh, these sweetie babies don't understand how light works. Maybe I can help them. So I decide I have to talk to Doc about making them a robot. But first, I go back to the professor about the earthquake business. And he's like, what if we set up these different rumble spikes around and we actually like conduct our own earthquake? So I have to go to these different points in the island to set up these spikes. So yeah, we got earthquake spikes we're working on, we got a robot for the lighthouse bros, and we're still looking for chess pieces. I found this weird ladder into this area, and I was like, well, surely a ladder would only exist if there was something in here. And then I saw it. The chess piece. Right on top. I couldn't believe it. The screaming that I did when I saw this chess piece has to be celebrated. I was like, oh my god, I got it! I was so freaking pumped. And so now I have found all of the chess pieces, and now I get to learn their secret chess strategy. So the way to win if you're losing really bad is to be like, oh my god, look over there! And so we look over there, and then this happens. Yep, so I got the last chess piece for them, just for them to destroy the chessboard. Right, okay, but I got an achievement for that, so heck yeah, man. Took me a long time, but I finally found all the chess pieces. Now we're going Thursday into Friday, another day on the island delivering mail. So I checked in with Maureen, first things first, and I looked at the mail of the day. And apparently, Corali's child has run off again, and I need to look for him. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Then I have a corrupt components bill for Mr. Hoffman. So this is for our earthquake business. Then I have a package for the pub that has warnings on it, and it's actually the only package in the whole game I'm not allowed to open. Then I have this letter that has the music on it, so I'm like, oh, okay, this is for the music. And it is for a holiday thing is happening. And then I have this box that has this beautiful sunflower piece of jewelry, and it's from Sunny to Miss Lubinsky for helping them out with the shop. Wholesome, sweet. Look how stunning. I am amazed and impressed. There is vegetable and fruit friendship happening. Then I have a letter that has the compass on it, so I know that's for town hall. And there are some balloons on it. And it's a bill for a party. I wonder what they're going to throw a party for. How strange. So then I continue reading the mail. And this one is for the house with the bunny mailbox. And I don't know why we had to put, like, multiple layers of things that I had to go through, but it's fine, it's fine. So I had this one, and they were just talking about, like, teleportation is better than flying. And I think I agree. There is no flying in this game, but there certainly is teleportation. So then I deliver Eron the mail about the party, and he's like, that's weird that you know there's a party. I don't know what for. So then I go to Bess to deliver their package, and I'm like, why are there like toxic things in it that I can't open? And Bess is like, well, I want to make the mocktails really cool, and I want to put like those crazy chemicals that like make smoke and stuff so that the drinks are really, really cool. If you come by tomorrow, you can try them. I'm like, okay. So now I have to look for a missing little rascal who has run away from home. And that's not my main priority. Honestly, I'm delivering mail. I realized that Nene, my chess friend, this is their house. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know who lived here at the bunny house. It's Nene, my friend, who cheats at chess. Here you go. That was always fun along the way of the game. Like, oh my god, that's the person who lives here. No way. So then I move on to Miss Lubinsky to deliver the beautiful package from Sunny, which she adores so much and is like, oh my god, that's so nice of them. Like, that was really cool. Also, Miss Lubinsky always calls me Possum, which I think is very interesting. I don't know why. Then I found the missing child. He wasn't too far away, but he's like, can you carry me? And I was like, no. But then I did anyway. So he's sobbing. He is crying up a storm while I am trying to carry him home, and then I do that, and his mom's like, oh my god, thank goodness, thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah, no big deal. I'm just a post office person who's also finding missing children. I know I'm a hero. It is what it is. So then I go to the music house to deliver that, and I talk to Mr. Peabody, and he's like, I'm gonna destroy the photo of Hom because they're just like an innocent creature, and I want to protect them. And because I finished this quest, I actually got a safari hat from Mr. Peabody, so I have yet another hat. Then I decide to go talk to Keely, who I've not been talking to much, and Keely tells me they actually have a crush on somebody, and it's Neve, the person who works at the motel, and that they were going to send me a letter to deliver to them tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But now, it's time to go put our rumble spikes. The rumble spikes have come in. We're gonna go place our rumble spikes to cause the earthquake. And then I went to talk to Hom again too, just to like see like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go home? And they're like, yeah, but I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. It's rumble spikes time. The map actually tells me where exactly these need to go, and then as you get close to the spot, it actually starts beeping at you. So there is one that needed to go on the beach, and I was perplexed here. I'm like, how am I not at the spot? There's Tanner just like stalking me again. He's just like watching me do everything, but he's fine. He's hanging out. He's a nice guy. And then I decided to look for the rumble spike that was in the rocky area, the scary area. That's by Carla the Carrot. But then I found one of the rare items. Dude, I don't know how I found this. Running around for hours. Once again, you're not seeing it, but I explored for hours. I ran around. I ran around. I will say, this game could use a mini map. Like, you won't think that the land is that big, but it is. It is. I found the place for the rumble spike though, and look at that. Wasn't that little scenic view of the turnip booty and the horizon so nice? Then I learned I only have 3 of the rare items left. Pretty cool, not to flex. And then I found the final spot for the rumble spike, which was over on the other beach. Yes, there are multiple beaches. It's an island. There are beaches on multiple sides. Then I found a picnic spot. How am I still finding places that I haven't been to yet at this point? And then I found a rare flower by the picnic spot. So now I only have 2 more of the legendary items to find. Then I went to talk to the professor and we set off our earthquake. And we did it. It was so small that no one even felt it. And I was like, is that good enough? And he was like, yeah. Because my husband will know because of the equipment, but no one else will be inconvenienced or bothered in town. So it worked out. And then, oh my god, a close-up on the booty. In case you didn't have enough of the booty, I start like flying a little bit. Some rocks you can jump on, some you can't. And I really like to push those boundaries. And now I'm determined to find the remaining of the rare items. So I'm going through the rocky area because I'm like, oh, it must certainly be there, but I don't find anything else. I do decide to go back to Professor Braun, and I'm like, oh my god, the earthquake. And he was like, yes, I'm gonna get a Nobel Peace Prize. Wait, Nobel, not peace, just a Nobel Prize for science. There you go. Maybe for peace too. I don't know what else that man does, but good for him. Now I'm displaying all of my items around my motel room to flex, and we're going from Friday into Saturday. And even though it's the weekend, I still, of course, have some mail to deliver to people. I decided to put the crown back on. Not that I didn't like the safari hat, but I did like the crown better, and here's my friend Hannah. So check out my crown and my booty. And I never have mail from this man. He just hangs out. He hangs out, he goes to the pool, and then I go to Maureen for the mail of the day, which of course I immediately break in to look at everything, and I have a briefcase that has a lock on it, and it says how many cherries are needed to operate a lighthouse. And so it is a little riddle that we'll have to solve. So we'll come back to that later. I just kind of wanted to scope it out for now. It was clear that I had to solve the riddle. This was also a piece of mail for me as well, because my picture was on it, and oh boy, it's covered in blood, and we could only guess who it's from. And it actually was a puzzle that I had to solve, so you need to turn the 3 layers of the puzzle to be the correct shape, which is, of course, of you. The sweet little juicy booty turnip person. And so here we are, figuring the puzzle out, and then immediately it reveals this, which is the invitation to the dark ritual tonight at Carla's, and I'm told that I actually have a mask that I need to wear, and don't worry, there will be snacks. Moving on, more strange mail. I have a shaker, which you actually have to shake quite vigorously to show the actual note, which is that the ingredients are done over at the pub, and it's time to try the mocktails whenever I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, that was so extra, but fine. Then I have another ticket for the glassblowers, and this is the love note from Keely to Neve, and oh boy, little did I know, this was about to cause us a lot of trouble. I was like, oh, this is just so sweet and innocent and nice. Yeah, okay, we'll get back to that. Why is this here? Just a crab. Get crabbed is what it said. And then this was a very obvious piece of mail for Doc. I'm opening his magazine. Like, I didn't need to open all the mail. Sometimes it was clear who they're going to. And in this case, like, there wasn't anything else for opening it. This one, though, I didn't recognize at first, but then I realized the eye symbol. There is a house that has this eye in front of it. So I was like, oh, where is this going? But I love this glitter envelope. Sometimes I struggle with the unboxing, just like in real life. I don't know that I'm the best at opening boxes and cards without destroying things. And in this game, it's no different. I struggle a little bit, but we get there eventually. Look how stunning this picture is. So very cute. I was like, oh my god, the art is so cute. Oh, and then now I opened every piece of mail. I received my skull mask, and it automatically equipped it, and I didn't realize for a little bit. Like, I just, like, go through the day, and then I realize I have, like, a terrifying mask on, just, like, randomly. So then I go, and I get to choose what glass I want for my mocktail, and there's only one answer. It's the glass with an ass. Like, come on, what? Then I get to pick my main ingredient, and I picked strawberries, and then I got to pick the vibe. I clicked mischievous, and then here we are. This is my perfect mocktail that I called Fruit Explosion, and I actually, of course, got an achievement for that. Yay, good job, go me. And then it was time to deliver the mail to Neve from Keely, and Neve is like, oh my god, Keely's gorgeous, like, this is amazing, I'm so excited. Like, this was very wholesome. Like, the love note was about them, like, bonding over, like, queer poetry together and, like, finding a common interest, and I was like, oh, that's so amazing. So then I went to talk to Sunny, and Sunny's shop had a new name, and everything worked out for them. Sunny, like, you know, got to change it to be their business, and their wife was flying in, and now they were going to join them on the island, and they named the store after their grandma. It was so cute. Here's the house with the eye on the front, so I delivered that one. And then I went along my way. I went to the glass blowers to give them my ticket, and of course they gave me a package, and this package turned out to be for Sunny. It was actually like more gems and stuff. I don't know why I had trouble picking it up at first. And then there's me with the mask. This was my first like glimpse at it. I was like, oh boy, this is a look. and it's good, it's good, it's cute. So after opening the box, I realized, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this is for Sunny. I didn't really recognize from the outside picture. And so cute, we have Sunny and Nia as the name of their wife on the engravement inside, which was so sweet. And this was so nice that Sunny actually gave me a piece of jewelry, and this set off an achievement for wearing it. It's so cute. It's like a little, it's kind of like it's a necklace, but I'm wearing it on my head like a crown, so very sweet. Then it was time to go to my cherry bros to solve the riddle, and of course, it takes 0 cherries to operate the lighthouse. They don't need to be doing it, but they think they do. So here I have my robot set, so I just have to go to the lighthouse to install it. I had some kind of glitch where my person was doing like Pilates arm circles the entire time. We're just getting shredded. I mean, it takes a lot to have a booty this juicy, and I mean, I guess my arms are pretty juicy too. So here we are, we have a little robot that is now convincing them that they don't have to operate the lighthouse, which they never had to. And this got us an achievement as well. So then I go to tell Keely about Neve wanting to go on the date. And Keely, and here's where trouble starts. Keely's like, okay, I'm giving you petals, flower petals. I want you to throw them in a pool, but don't throw them here where I work. Like, I don't want it to be at the spa. And so I'm like, okay, cool. In my brain, I think I have the perfect spot for this, but we'll get there. First, we're delivering docs some mail. I was going to throw the petals in the pool by the motel, but I saw this pond, and I had the option to throw them there. I want to make it clear I didn't look at the achievements until I finished the game. I wanted to, like, see if I could authentically get them. That's stupid for these kind of videos where I'm trying to 100% it. So Keely tells me, like, that's a terrible spot because there's duck poop in there. And one of the achievements is to find a perfect spot, and I failed at it. But we can't mess with that now because we need to go to our cultist ritual. So I put on my mask, and Carla's like, great, I need you to put candles around the fountain, and I need you to spread paint, this red, bloody-like paint everywhere, and the wholesome turnip game is taking a turn. As if it hadn't from the start. So here I am, placing all of the candles, and now it is time for whatever ritual Carla has in store for me and their friends. And so, here we are. We're going to fulfill our destiny. I'm worried we're about to, like, die here. I'm like, is this the end of the game? Like, what is happening? I'm a little nervous. It's all going wild here. We're doing our ritual, and I don't know what's going to happen until suddenly... Here it comes! You're on the edge of your seat! Oh my goodness! The toy that I sent them pops up the top. And then I'm reminded, this is just roleplay. I was told this. I was told this is just roleplay. But I think I didn't believe Carla. I think I was like, maybe it's real. And Carla's like, I have a bombshell to drop on you. Actually, I'm wearing a carrot costume. And everyone's like, yeah, we know. And it turns out that Carla is actually an alien. They've been an alien the whole time, and they were shy. And we're like, no, that's great. And their real name is Feblor. So we're like, Feblor, we love the real you. That was sick. And of course, I got an achievement for going to the ritual. And that was so fun. I thought that was really cute, and I'm glad we got to help Carla, Feblor, accept their true self. And now, it's Saturday into Sunday. And little did I know, this is the last day in game. But let me tell you, this day is the longest in the game that I played. So it starts with me getting a crumpled up piece of paper at my door, and there is a very obvious portrait of me, and there is a note that we are all hiding. Love the grape kids. So now we are going on a little scavenger hunt to find the grapes. Eron tells me it's your last day, so when you're ready to go home, let me know. And they have a special event planned for me before the day is done, and Maureen is like, hey, I don't have any mail for you today, so maybe go do the rest of the stuff you have to do. So I kind of was hoping I could go back and do all of the achievements here, but it's not that simple now, is it? So here I am going to find the first kid. So the clue led me to believe that they were by the pub. So I found them, and they're like, okay, my sister is hiding somewhere else. And each time they give me a piece of a map. So then I had to go find the other person, but I was stumbling across my favorite lovers, and I found that they reunited, which is great. And the clue about the next one was about, like, finding them where you find shells. So I found Millie where I find the shells, and they tell me that their brother, Billy, is finding joy somewhere relaxing. So of course, I know I have to go to the spa, and we talk about the date, and Keely was like, we had fun, but the location was terrible. Like, you did a terrible job. But it's okay, because I found Billy, and he's like, Tilly's hiding somewhere near rocks and mist. And I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna have to go travel through the scary area and try to, like, go through all the rocks. And somehow, I feel like I got pretty lucky here. I feel like this one was hard to spot, but I did. And they're like, Gilly is next, and they're by the eccentric scientist. And I'm like, okay, this one's gonna be easy. So they're gonna be over by docks. So I'm looking behind all of the containers and barrels, and I don't see them at first. And I'm like, okay, maybe not. But here they are, very small behind some of the containers. I found them. And they're like, okay, you're looking for my last sibling, Gordon. He is dribbling with a neighbor. So of course I knew that was the basketball yard. And at first I didn't see him until, well, I did. I see him. Do you see him? Yeah, that's him. He's stuck in the net. And so he's like, cool, you got the last piece of the treasure map. Let's go. And now I'm putting together a puzzle to see where the treasure map is actually leading. And it becomes clear that I need to go underneath the archway and find something. Now, this is where disaster strikes, because I'm kind of close to that location when I find this message in a bottle. And I assume, this is what I'm looking for. This is kind of close. So there is a piece of paper inside the message in the bottle, which takes me far too long to learn how to open. You just need to pop the top, and then I was playing with mouse. I was playing with controller, rather. I had to switch to mouse for this, to vigorously shake this until a map came out. And it's clear, I got an achievement for this. Yay, good. It's clear that this is telling me to go somewhere near the waterfall. And so I'm like, okay, I'm kind of far from the rock that the treasure map wanted me to go to, but I found the message in the bottle, so surely this is what I was meant to do, and now I have the next piece of the puzzle, so now I have to go near the waterfall, and presumably there will be something here, but I found nothing. I was like, how close to this waterfall does one need to be? And I couldn't figure it out. Like, I don't know if it was because it was 3 in the morning or because I just am lacking a large amount of brain cells. I decide my not so strategic plan is, what if I just, like, walk around the perimeter of everything? Walk around the perimeter of everything and maybe I'll find it. It's clear it's on the left side. We have the waterfall. According to the map, it's on the left side, but I couldn't quite tell if it was beach we were trying to go on, if it was plaza we were trying to go on. I had no idea, and I saw nothing. Like, I thought the game was broken. I was like, there's nothing here. So I decided, let's just go through the entire map, and we need to find that extra rare item anyway, which I did. This was the last one. And it was right in front of my face. The last one was one of the easiest spots to find. And this, of course, gave me that achievement. I was so excited that I took the detour to, look around. I resulted to even looking through the binoculars that are, or telescope, binoculars? They're binocular, those things. That didn't help. So I'm running around for a long time here. Like, what am I looking for, man? Until I start being like, okay, maybe I should match up exactly where I am on the map to what it looks like. Like, maybe it is by the beach, but closer to the land, because that would kind of make sense for how the diagram is drawn. And yet again, I saw nothing. I was just about to give up when I noticed that next to the trash cans, there was some sand. And I had the option to inspect the sand pile, and I found it. I was screaming, jumping for joy that I got the pirate hat. And in my brain, well, surely this is the end of the quest, right? I found all of the children. They led me to the message in the bottle. The message in the bottle led me to the other map, which led me to the pirate hat. But I still had... The other map disappeared, but I still had this map in my inventory. And I thought the game was broken because I was like, well, I got the message in the bottle. And I still had the message about finding the kids. So I was like, well, maybe it's broken. I decided to go back by the rock, and I was like, well, maybe there was something that I missed. But I saw absolutely nothing. I'm running, and I'm like, girl, I see nothing. There's nothing here. And I don't want to say that I ran around for hours. Hours I ran around. Hours. I ended up talking to every NPC. I ended up running through the whole map. I was like, maybe there's something I'm missing. There's got to be something that I'm missing, right? Surely there's something that I'm missing. Also, when I went to Feblor's house, I noticed that the spaceship was unclothed, which was so cool to see. I was like, oh, nice. I'm glad I stopped by here. But what am I looking for? What am I looking for? And so I went back through every single area of the island, and once again, I just want to stress, you are just seeing the highlights of this quest. I resort to trying to put these papers in people's mailboxes. Like, this is a game about mail. Maybe I need to deliver this to someone. Running back by the rock again. Surely I missed something, right? There's gotta be something here that I missed. And once again, I discover nothing. And I'm at this for hours. I had the feeling like, okay, the game is almost over now. I'm like, I can finish this tonight, but I don't. And so I result to, maybe the game is broken, maybe I need to end the game, and then the task will be completed. And I thought it was, but then I saw I still had the quest to find out what the papers mean. But I strolled up, and now I am at the party, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's still an opportunity to find out what the papers mean, even at the party. So I decided to talk to all of the NPCs once again, celebrate my nice week of delivering mail to people and, you know, fixing people's problems. Like, I helped everybody around town. Like, this is great. Cool. Talking to everybody, having some mocktails. And I try to talk to children, too. I'm like, maybe the children will tell me something else. And I walk around for a while until I realized that whatever I was supposed to do, I messed up and I didn't do it. So I decided to end the game, and I got the achievement for making it through 7 days, but it became very clear to me that I still had more to go and do. So I was really hoping, as the credits rolled, that I would be able to go back in the game and maybe have the opportunity to find whatever it is I was missing. And luckily, you can continue the game and it will bring you back to the final day. So I still had the opportunity to find what was missing with this last quest of finding out what the papers mean. So I spend even more time running all over, trying to, like, deliver the mail. Like, here, maybe if I deliver the map to someone, it'll tell me. Until eventually, and you could tell me I cheated, eventually I asked the developers for help, and they were like, oh, okay, there is something by the rocks, Payton. There is actually something by the rocks. You need to do this to also get the last hat in the game, which is also something I knew that I needed to do. So I went and I looked again, and tell me if you would have spotted this. What I was meant to see was this tiny little sand pile, which I have hours of footage of me running past. This is what I needed. The message in the bottle was a separate thing from this. Would you believe it? And so this gave me 2 of the achievements that I needed, of finding out the hide and seek thing and also getting the hat. But unfortunately, at this point, I've realized there are a lot of achievements I did not get because you had to have been doing them from the beginning of the game. And I am an amateur when it comes to 100% in games, apparently, because I didn't look at what I needed to do before I started. So mainly we had a couple goals here. We're just going to show you the highlights. I had to talk to Neve, Iran, my mom, and Keely every day for one task. So that is one of the things I needed to do. I also needed to use up all of my pictures in the camera, and I also needed to find the perfect date spot for Keely and Neve. So here's me getting the camera, and I'm hoping I can hack the system here. So I'm like, oh, I'll just take all 20 pictures now. But unfortunately, you do still need to save that last picture for Hom. So I do need to go through the entire quests of the game to do everything. So here's me talking to everybody each day, and I'm not showing you, but yes, everything you saw in the first beginning part of the game, I did it all over again. I made earthquakes, I solved fights, but mainly I'm focusing on talking to Neve, and talking to Iran, and talking to my mom, and then talking to Kaylee. We've got just a few tasks left, 4 tasks to be exact. Should I have looked at the achievements from the beginning? Absolutely. But I didn't want to spoil things for myself. I was like, well, let me just get a feel for the game first. And by the time I realized I had to do this, it was too late. So here we are. We're starting the date quest again. and here's where trouble continues. Because I'm like, okay, here we go. We're gonna sprinkle the petals. We're not gonna put them by the pond this time. We're gonna put them somewhere else. Here's me getting my picture, and I did get this achievement. Yay, I got the photo achievement. Good job. Big brain, I saved the game there. And I decide, okay, well, let's throw the rose petals in the pool. That's originally where I thought that they should go. So I've thrown the petals, and now I've gone back to Keely, and Keely's like, oh, well, I hope Neve doesn't mind that it's at her work. And instantly I'm like, quit. That's wrong. And then when I reopen the game, I don't have the petals in my pockets. So I'm like, oh my god, I screwed up and I'm gonna have to play the whole game over again to get the perfect date spot. I'm freaking out. But then I see I could throw the petals again. So I quit instantly again. I'm like, wait. Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe I don't have the petals, but I could throw them. And I find that I could throw them in this spot, which is like the secret like shell area. And I'm like, oh, surely that's the correct spot. So I tell that to Keely, and Keely's like, oh my god, that's the perfect spot. And I'm like, heck yeah, I don't have to replay the whole game again. And then the achievement doesn't fire. And I'm like, oh my god, what happened? So I actually asked the developers, and I think I broke the game with my quitting, and I didn't get the achievement even though I did the correct spot. But that's okay. Right now, let's just focus on my friends and mom. We're talking to my friends. We're talking to mom. Once again, you're not seeing it, but I am playing the whole game. I'm going to cultist rituals and I'm doing stuff. But you're just seeing me talking to everybody. Surely this entire playthrough of me talking to people, I'm gonna get it right. But then on the last day, I accidentally click I'm ready to go before I talk to people, so I instantly quit so that I can talk to people so I can get my achievement. I call my mom for the last time on Sunday, and I'm like, okay, well, hopefully I did it right, and I talk to my mom every day, and that will maybe give me my achievement. And it did. Luckily, it did. I talked to mom every day. I was successful, and so I was like, this is a good time to celebrate. Let's go talk to Keely. After I talk to Keely, I should get the achievement of talking to Iran, Neve, and Keely every day. But then it didn't fire. And so I had to finish the game. And I messaged the developers, who were so nice. They were so great. They looked through my game file and they told me on the very first day I didn't actually talk to Iran. He just introduced himself to me, but I needed to talk to him again. They told me I also didn't talk to Keely on the last day, but according to the footage I did. So literally I messed one thing up, which means for the 3rd time, I had to play the game over again. And this time, I did the pedals right the first time. I didn't rage quit or like finesse the system. And this time, the achievement did indeed fire, so I successfully found the perfect date. That means there's just one more achievement, and that's to have talked to Iran and Neve and Keely every single day in game. And hopefully I've learned from my previous mistakes. And I did. And I got my final achievement in Letters to Arralla, and it only took 3 times. In case you're wondering, this was a grand total of 9.2 hours. I played the game fully through 3 times to get all of these achievements. Could I have done it in 1? Had I have read the achievements before starting? Yes, absolutely. But would that be fun for the video? No. I will say, I had so much fun with this game. It was, I didn't really know what to expect from this, letter delivery game. I have seen quite a bit of letter delivery games. A lot of them are very the same. But this one I really enjoyed. I thought it had its own unique, silly, fun charm. It definitely was very heartwarming as well, helping the vegetable NPCs, and I played through it 3 times, and I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't want to play through it the 3 times, I probably would have scrapped this video. But I didn't mind having some more time with my juicy-bootied vegetable and fruit friends, and I'm really thankful again to the developers. They answered so many of my frantic questions about getting lost and why certain things weren't being achieved, and they were so nice to help me make this video possible. So thank you to them for helping me out. And there you have it. That was I played 100% of Letters to Arralla. I am dying to know your thoughts down below, so leave me a comment telling me all the thoughts that you had while watching this gameplay, and let me know what game I should attempt, I guess, to 100% next. Be sure to like the video on the way out, as well as subscribe for more cozy and casual gaming content, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the turnip booty as much as I did. Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye!